Good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're now joined by NASCAR Cup Series driver Daniel Suarez, driver of the number 99 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get a wireless mic to you. Anyone?
Dustin Albino, J-Ski. Daniel, obviously you won last week, but what made it so much fun throughout the race from the driver's seat?
You know, I think every time that you win a race is already special, but definitely, you know, if you can pick, you know, from winning 5 seconds ahead or winning in a finish like Atlanta, definitely you will pick that one, you know, every day of the week. It's just very intense racing. I would say that the entire race, I mean, I felt it behind the seat, and I'm sure you guys felt it from the media center and a lot of fans from home and at the racetrack. The intensity of the race was very high, the entire race. Probably one of the most intense races I've been part of. And to be able to survive that and to be in contention at the end and to be able to pull off the win this close with two other great race car drivers is quite special. You know, I truly enjoyed that. And obviously, there were a lot of great people in my team that night. You know, the CEO of Freeway Insurance, people from Coca-Cola, just so many great people that got to enjoy the victory with us. So it was a lot of fun.
We're going to go to Jerry Jordan.
Jerry Jordan, kickingthetires.net. I'm more curious about what the party was like after the win. What's this week been like for you and that night? And you did mention that you were going to celebrate.
You know, I'm not a huge party guy. I don't even drink alcohol, but I definitely enjoy it. You know, I took a day to enjoy it and to really live the moment. But really, you can't do it for too long. You know, in my mind, you know, I'm already answering these questions and having fun with them. But in my mind, I'm already thinking in practice, qualifying. How are we going to be able to put a fast lap together today? That's the way I approach also the week. You know, I spend the entire week talking about it. But after Monday, Tuesday, maybe I already flipped the page, and you know, I had an opportunity to go to Nashville on when was it? Wednesday or Thursday? Yeah, I can't remember. So much happened in the last week, and I had a great time there with people on the stage. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. But the reality is that my mind was already, you know, past that. You know, I was already thinking here in Las Vegas. But I enjoy a lot, and my team did as well. And hopefully we can have more moments like that one this year.
We saw the photo with the car and everything at the shop with that celebration. But have you given thought to the fact that you're pretty much locked into the playoffs at this point?
You know, a few people has asked me, you know, that question about the playoffs. But to me, honestly, I haven't even thought about it. You know, I haven't even thought about playoffs. I haven't even, you know, we have a long way, you know, before the playoffs. And in my mind, I don't want to be one of those drivers that win one race, that in the playoffs, and then that's it. You know, I don't want to be part of that. The goal here is to do more than that, to be strong in the regular season championship, and I know that to be able to contend for the championship, you have to win 3 or more races, and that's the goal. You know, the goal is to build a strong season where we have stage points, where we have wins, where we get into the playoffs, not just we make the playoffs, but in a strong fashion. That's the goal, and we're working very hard, everyone at Trackhouse, to be able to deliver that.
Go ahead.
Jennifer, AP, you won last week, so Max had to win this week to keep up with the family. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing about Max is that he makes it look easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has done a great job in the last few years. His entire team as well, and yeah, I have he's putting the bar pretty high, so I have work to do.
You got to keep going. So I'm curious, the wind today, how much does that concern you, or this wind all weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it as a group. I didn't really realize how big it was until I got here. I mean, the interstate coming here, it was full of dust and pieces of debris flying everywhere. It's gonna be tricky, but the beautiful thing is that it's gonna be the same for everyone. So everyone's gonna struggle with the same thing. So I think that in our group, in the 99 team, we're preparing extremely well, and I think that we are as prepared as it can be. We have some ideas, some options, some things to do for the win, because tomorrow, luckily, it won't be this hard. So yeah, we may have to adjust aggressively for it today, but tomorrow is going to be a little bit more normal. It's going to be windy still, but not as windy as today.
Lastly, I don't know what sort of relationship you have with Raja Karuth, who got his first win last night, but you both have had unconventional paths to get into NASCAR, and you know that you can share in the difficulties it takes just to get to this level. I don't know what you can speak to his victory last night.
Yeah, you have no idea how happy I was for him. He's a great young man, not just a very talented race car driver, but also very dedicated. We get to see each other almost every week, training or doing different things, and I like him a lot. I consider him a friend. And when I was watching the race, I was thinking, man, he can pull it off, and he knows this, and we all know this. But the first one is always the most difficult one to get, and I'm sure that he's gonna win at least a few times this year. He's very disciplined. He works hard, and I think that he's been strong in the last few weeks. So I'm very happy for him. Obviously, he made history last night, being the third African American driver to win the national series, and it's very special. Obviously, he's also graduated from the Drive for Diversity, just like myself, just like Bubba Wallace, and many others. So very happy that we're seeing good talent from the Drive for Diversity program coming to a national series, being successful. Of course, and I mentioned this, I can't remember, a week or two ago, that the Drive for Diversity program has changed quite a bit since, Bubba Wallace and myself were there 10 years ago. 10 years ago was very good. We had a good opportunity, and it was a good program. But today, it's a great program, and I'm very happy to see that, because 10 years ago, it was a great program to give you an opportunity for back then KNN series, now ARCA. But then to make the jump to a national series, it was very difficult. You had to be lucky, and you have to be very, very good to get that opportunity. And today, the Drive for Diversity program is also involved in the truck series, and that's very special. That's very special because it's giving an opportunity to these kids, to these young guys like Raja, like Sanchez, a good opportunity to go in the truck series and perform in a very competitive level, and we didn't have that back 10 years ago. So I'm very happy for them. I'm very happy that the Drive for Diversity program continues to grow and continues to get better.
We're going to come to my left side for 2 questions, and then I'm going to go to the middle.
Right. Cole Cusimano with the Arizona Republic. Playing off Jerry's question, Daniel, on partying, next weekend at Phoenix, they're going to have the Viva La Fiesta at Phoenix Raceway. Just curious to hear your overall excitement for that event and the importance of that cultural presence and impact over there.
Yeah, of course. I think that every time that I come to West Coast, to Las Vegas, Sonoma, Auto Club Speedway was very, very big as well. Phoenix, obviously LA. It's amazing to feel an incredible amount of support from the Latino community, and I feel very, very proud to be the face of this community in the Cup Series, and we embrace it, and I'm very happy that the racetracks embrace it as well with us. Obviously, this is just a small example of that, of Viva La Fiesta in Phoenix, and yeah, already I'm aware, and we're going to be having a great time in Phoenix next week.
Go ahead.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. But Daniel, when you scored your first victory at Sonoma, it was in the middle of the season. Now you're 2 races in, and you're essentially guaranteed a playoff spot. Does that give you an opportunity, you and your Trackhouse Racing team, an opportunity to gamble in order to try to get some more, not only stage points, but playoff points throughout the year so that you can have them in the bank when playoff time comes in September?
I think so, yeah. You know, I had a meeting with Squid, my crew chief, about it, and it definitely gives us a lot of more freedom. You know, obviously we want to gamble wisely. You don't want to do just wild gambles and hoping for the best, like running long and hoping for things just to fail in your lap. But you can gamble a little bit in the setup. You can gamble a little bit on the strategy. You can push the limits a little bit harder in a few areas. So I think it's a very good thing. With that being said, you know, it's also very important to continue to be consistent, to continue to be strong, and to have in mind that, you know, yeah, we are in the playoffs, but in my mind, you know, one win, like I said, won't do it to be able to get to Phoenix to fight for a championship. So you have to really build your resume of the year, and we have to continue to do that. And if it's gonna take to be consistent or to gamble, whatever that may be, we have to figure it out and go out there and do it. But I think that honestly, this weekend for us is gonna be a very, very important weekend, or for everyone. You know, it's going to be a very, very important weekend because, as we all know, we have a lot of mile and a halves, and this is the first one with this package, and we have to see where we stack up and where we're strong, and where are the areas that we are not very strong that we have to work on, and we're going to find out a lot of things today and tomorrow, and I'm very excited for that.
We're going to come up here to the middle.
Daniel, hi. Tom Zaleski, Iron County Today. Go back to Atlanta again. You're at the moment. You're at the you Blaney and Bush are crossing the line all at the same time. What are you thinking on the radio? Are you having doubts? You're not sure that it's you? Go through the whole conversation and up to when the moment came that you know that you won.
Yeah, so it was definitely tricky and a little bit stressful, especially the last couple laps, because I really wanted to be on the outside to have a shot to attack the 12. But unfortunately, the person that was behind me, pushing me, it was his teammate. So I wasn't really getting a lot of help to build runs. So at that point, I was, you know, it was going to take a little bit of a situational thing to be able to make a run at it. And luckily, the 8 was able to build a run at it with the 23, which obviously, you know, he wanted to move forward. And I was able to stay close to the 8, and that's what created the 3 wide. And at that point, you know, once you get 3 wide, getting into a 3, and we side draft hard, exiting a 4, at that point you already used your bullets, right? You already did what you had to do, and at that point you are just trying to hope that you are the one. I knew that I was inching ahead of the 8. I was slowly moving ahead of the 8 when I did my last side draft, and I stayed away from him. But I had no idea on the 12. The 12 was so far on the inside, and the 8 was blocking my view to the 12 that I had no idea. I knew he was there, but I didn't know where he was. So when they told me that we got the 8, but with the 12 is very close, I was nervous because I had no idea. Like, if they were telling me that the 8 beat us by a nose or we beat him by a nose, I would have believed it because I couldn't see him. I knew, like I said, I knew on the 8, but I didn't know on the 12. So yeah, by the time that we crossed the start-finish line and the time that we actually knew that it was us, it was probably a minute, and it felt like 3 hours. But yeah, it was quite special. You know, it's always fun to get victories like this. I hope that I get the opportunity to experience many more in this fashion, because in this fashion, like I said, it's quite a bit more intense and adrenaline than winning races by 3 or 4 or 5 seconds.
We're going to go to the back, and then we're going to come up here to Bob. Mm-hmm.
Brian Twining, Bettsburg's Media Group. Kind of expanding on the previous question, the last year or so, there's been a lot of talk amongst drivers and the lack of respect that has been shown when racing, especially coming to the start-finish line. Was there any worry in your mind that you were possibly going to get punted, or there was going to be contact by somebody else trying to move you out of the way for the race win?
You're talking about when we were already 3 wide, or before that?
So even just coming down the backstretch when you guys were trying to make the runs, and then coming out of 3, especially when you were trying to make your move to take the lead, were you worried that somebody was going to throw a pretty egregious block? Or
I was a little bit on the 2, because the 2, I knew I couldn't trust him, especially because his teammate was on the lead and he didn't want to push me. So he was pushing me just enough to stay up there, but never hard enough to make a run on the 12. So I had to make sure that when he was pushing me, I was on my toes of, okay, where he was going to go, because I didn't know if he was actually going to push me or he was going to do something else. Like I say, in the back straightaway, he never touched my bumper because he was lifting so much. But, I have raced with Ryan for quite a bit, along with Kyle as well. And when we were 3 wide, we didn't want to hit each other, because let's say that if Kyle and I were hitting each other, that was going to give Blaney the win. If Blaney and Kyle were hitting each other, that was going to give me the win. So at that point, we knew that it was in our best interest not to touch, because whoever was touching the other one, it was going to affect those 2. So if it was a battle for 2 cars, yes, you may touch a little bit more because it's a different situation. But with 3 cars, it's more like, you're in a different spot. You are not fighting 1 guy, you're fighting 2. So it's a little bit more complicated. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there is a lot of lack of respect many times, but that's what makes racing fun too, right there at the end, we raced with respect because it was in our best interest. So it worked out that way.
And we're going to go to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Did you have any interaction with Pitbull at the concert, and what was it? Can you just talk about the experience of being introduced and coming out on stage?
Yeah.
Did you sing at all?
Huh?
Did you sing at all?
I didn't, but I try. So yeah, Bob, that's a good question. That was quite an experience. I wasn't thinking much about it when they told me I was gonna do that, and then I had a little talk with Pitbull before he performed, and he said, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna bring you at the end, and then you can talk, and then we can, have a shot together of my tequila, whatever that was. I don't know what it was, and then we were just, well, I didn't. I don't drink. That's why I got drunk with 1 shot." So it was very improvised, but it was amazing. I was thinking much about it, but when I was in the moment and when he introduced me and I was talking to all the people there, I mean, the energy was unbelievable. The people screaming, and there were a lot of. I don't know if it's Nashville normally like this, or because Pitbull was there, or maybe I just got lucky. But there were a lot of Mexican flags with the fans, and people were getting crazy. I was talking in Spanish, which actually I got nervous. I should have spoken English a little bit too, and I did my entire speech in Spanish, and people was getting crazy. But it was a great time, a great experience. Pitbull is such a rock star. That guy is unbelievable. The way that he performs, the way that he drives people is unbelievable. I'm very happy and very proud to have Pitbull as part of Trackhouse.
Back to Jenna.
I wanted to follow up on that. I saw you interacted with a post on Twitter of a woman who was sobbing in the grandstands when you won. She said she'd been a fan of yours your whole career, and to be present in Atlanta for her first win just brought her to tears. What does that make you feel like? I assume she was Hispanic.
Yeah, it's very special. It's very special because many of these people, not all of them, but many of the... Yeah, the little charrito. Many of these people, they have had a very similar journey to myself, coming from Mexico or from somewhere else in Latin America, and just having the same obstacles and not speaking the language, and just trying to find an opportunity. And I feel like that's the reason why we connect so well, because yeah, maybe I'm driving race cars for a living, but at the end of the day, we are the same. We came from the same place, and we came with a very similar journey. And it's quite special to give these experiences, to my community, to my people, and I hope that I get the opportunity to do it many more times this year and in the future, because it's quite special, to be able to have my people so excited and so proud, and it's a feeling that it's just different, and I'm very lucky to be in this position and to be the one that can actually make these kind of things happen.
Any additional questions for Daniel? All right. Oh, we have one in the back.
Eric Guerra, UNLV Rebel Report. Obviously, Daniel, we're seeing this growth amongst the fan base with minorities and people that don't come from, the traditional racing background over here in NASCAR. So what do you think is the next step to continue this amazing growth?
Yeah, I think the next step, and I talk about this in Atlanta, the next step is to become one of those drivers that when you win, you are not very surprised that they have won, who is in that category, Larson right now, also Byron, Logano, Bush, all these guys that they win often, and they win every single year, and they're in the playoffs every single year, not just attending the playoffs, but fighting in the playoffs. That's the goal, I'm not okay being an okay driver or a good driver anymore, and I had this conversation with my team, in the off season. Everyone in the team has to have the same mentality, because if 50% of the team wants to be great, but the other 50% wants to be, it's okay with being good, that won't work. Everyone have to have the same mentality, and my goal is to go to the next step, to go to the next level. And I felt that right now I have the team to do it. The team is on the same mindset than myself, and I have to take advantage of that. And I have to bring this group to the next level to be able to get used to that, to be able to win not just one race a year, once in a while, but to win 3, 4 races a year, 5 races a year. And that's my goal, and that's what we are working towards for this season.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Daniel, and good luck today and tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there's the checkered flag.